back to Inside Demon Athletics, where you can learn what goes on behind the scenes from an athlete's perspective. This past week, Lady Demon Volleyball fell in 3 sets to the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. NSU football played East Texas A&M on Saturday in the homecoming football game. The first play of the game looked promising for the Demons when Antonio Hall returned the kickoff 65 yards. However, they failed to convert a field goal. The game ended in a 40-10 loss. On a more positive note in Demon Athletics, women's soccer hosted Southeastern Louisiana last Thursday, and it was a battle. The Demons went up 1-0 early, but shortly after halftime, SLU tied it up. The Demons continued fighting, and with under 10 minutes left, they netted another goal, giving them the 2-1 victory. Today, I'll be talking with running back Kyron Angeletti, a redshirt sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana, in order to discuss what happened at the homecoming football game and learn about the work ethic required to become a D1 football player.
How y'all doing? My name is Kyron Angeletti. I'm a running back here for Northwestern State. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Obviously, the game didn't go how y'all wanted this past weekend, but what was your mindset going into the game? Was there doubt, or were y'all confident in your abilities?
There was definitely confidence, especially after playing Prairie View A&M last Saturday. Well, before our bye week, we were pretty hyped to be able to train as a whole team and get ready to prepare for this upcoming week, which is who we played on Saturday. And so I definitely think we came in with confidence, but I just don't think that we executed the way that we should have.
Was there anything you thought the team executed well despite the loss?
Yeah, no, there were definitely moments that we executed. Like we had a couple of big plays. We didn't get as many plays as we wish we could have on offense, but there's always progress, and we're still a building organization team. So
yeah, y'all are still in your building years for sure. After everything that happened in the previous years, you're still trying to get back to it.
Yeah.
What areas of the game do you think the team can improve upon in coming weeks to give y'all a better chance in the future?
I think just truly focusing on the small details, the key aspects of the game, being able to run the ball is highly important. Like if it's first down, we need to get at least 4 to 5 yards on that first play to get the drive going really good. And then just making sure, like just having fun. Don't worry about making mistakes because then that just causes you to think about it the next play and the next play after that. Like just go play ball.
Yeah, kind of just focus on the task at hand and don't think about all the noise. Because I know, like, y'all hear every day, oh, y'all lost this many games and all that stuff. Does that ever get to y'all? Like, how do you stay away from, like, letting that take the joy away from the game?
So with that part, we hear that a lot. Like even last year at the event that we went to, whenever the doctors and everybody was talking, and they were saying, like Northwestern was gonna win, and then everybody started laughing. I mean, everybody felt that, and then we felt that motivation to go into the season. Obviously, things still didn't go as planned, but we felt
y'all
it.
got the win.
Right? Yeah, we got the win exactly. And but I mean, at the same time, like our head coach, he gets a lot of messages from older, wiser people sometimes, and it's just like he always gets his phone blown up. And like even after this loss we just had, devastating, but he still got messages saying, "Oh, keep your head up, coach. Y'all guys have a long road ahead of y'all." Like so, we still have that motivation to keep us going.
That's good. What do you think the team can take away from this game to help you guys in the future?
I think we can take away being able to kind of going back on what I said, but being able to focus on those key aspects and watching film and seeing those small mistakes that we make and come into the upcoming next week and just keep working.
All right, that's enough about the homecoming game. I'm sure you've heard enough about it. Let's talk about your work ethic and how you became a D1 football player.
Okay.
When did you realize you wanted to play college football?
I realized that I wanted to play college ball, I would say, my freshman year of high school.
Was there a specific moment where you said, I'm going to play this sport in college and made that your mission? Or was it just you found joy in it and you wanted to continue?
Well, I realized that I love football since I first started when I was 6 years old. But like as my years went on, once I got to high school, I'm like, I want to continue to do this. And so I kept working to know that college wasn't going to be any easier. So I knew I was going to have to work for it.
So was there anything like specific you did to make it a reality, like extra work? Like what did that look like for you?
So it came down to dedication, grit, hard work. Like all of it came into it because I would go to train at 5 in the morning or I would go to the gym in the afternoon, just something that gets myself better and better because I know that it wouldn't be easy.
Yeah, you put the work in on top of like your regular practices and stuff
Right,
where the average player might not do that. So it kind of got you to the next level.
right.
So what did the recruiting process look like for you? Like what was your experience? When did it start?
Mhm.
Things like that.
So I graduated in May of 23 out of high school, and when I came up, I was being recruited by a coaching staff, but when when one of our players sadly passed away, our head coach had retired at the time, and that coaching staff that was recruiting me was fired, and so I lost my opportunity of getting a scholarship, and so I stayed and walked on in my freshman year in the spring with the new head coach, and I've just been working for an opportunity since then.
So it was like a very unprecedented
Right,
situation, but you made the most out of it. I mean, you got where you wanted to be, so
exactly.
that's what matters. Now that you are a D1 athlete, would you say the workload is more or less than you expected?
Honestly, it it is at certain points where I feel that it's more, and then there's times where I feel like it's less. It's just kind of back and forth. Like sometimes I'll be like, okay, we really need to work harder right now, and we don't work as hard as I would think we would. Or sometimes it'll be like we're just training like super heavy. So it just kind of depends on the situation at hand.
I get that. That makes sense. And then what does a typical day as a student athlete look like for you?
So for me, I definitely say that what helps me as a athlete is that I have classes that are online and I have classes in person. I do not have to go to many in person, so that gives me time to just go to workouts, go home, rest, eat, take a nap, and make sure I'm getting work done while also still having days where I do go in person and have those social interactions. But um, besides doing the online work and actually going to practice, I feel like I end up having a lot of time on my hands to just relax and
Yeah,
do things that I
I
like.
agree. It's like in high school we had like such a long school
Right.
schedule. Now it's like the priority is like not the priority, but the majority of our days are spent doing sports, and then we kind of just fill
Right.
in where we can with the
Right.
school, which I feel like most people don't understand that. But high school I feel like was harder because of this class schedule.
Definitely.
And then how do you stay disciplined and keep putting in the work when things may not be going your way?
I heavily lean on God. That is such a big thing. There just aren't times where things are going pretty great. And I mean, but it's just like things happen. So like even for example, like today, I mean, I felt like I was like pretty in a good mood today, but I was leaving out of the cafeteria and the head basketball coach, he just like, dapped me up and then I heard him say something. So I moved my headphone off my ear and he was just like, keep your head up. Great things are coming. And it just was like, I just felt like that was God talking because it was out of nowhere.
Yeah, like
And
a
so, I mean,
sign.
it's just things like that that just keep me going and then knowing that like even like on my Instagram and my stories that I post, like I work super hard and having people DM me and be like, hey man, like what do you do to keep this going? And like uh, I play running back too, like what do you think I should do? Like having those people come to me lets me know that what I'm doing is making some impact in everyone's lives. So
Speaking of your post on Instagram, actually, I see all like the extra work you put in, and it's really inspiring. So, was this dedication taught to you, or is it just like all from within?
it is all from within. I've started training at 11 years old and I've always had people to support me, especially my mom and dad. But when it came to actually training, my dad knew more when it came to actual
Yeah.
football, and but he always told me that when it came down to it, it was never going to be easy, and he guided me through it and let me know how hard it was going to be, and that nothing was going to come handed to me. And so I realized then and there, I was like, okay, well, I need to dedicate myself to this and keep working.
So you had that internal drive, but you also had those external factors that kept you on the right path, type thing.
Exactly.
And then, who on the team do you look up to in terms of work ethic and commitment?
I would say a person I look up to is Dane Wallace. He is one of our slot wide receivers. I have since I've first gotten here in the season of 23, I've always seen him training in the mornings or doing some type of mobility or warming up before workouts when no one else was. And seeing someone else with that type of work ethic, also like myself, it was pretty good to look at.
That's good. I'm glad we have someone like upperclassmen that's like able to inspire the kids coming in and just
Right.
like keep that going.
hmm
And then, what are your goals going forward on the football field and in life?
I would say my goals, looking on the field wise, is to be able to do what I can to help my team in whatever aspect that is. and hopefully that lead to us continuing to get better and better, and in life, just finishing through college, keeping these connections that I have, getting better ones, growing with these relationships that I have now, and continuing through college, getting this degree, and being able to make something out of it.
Good answer. And then finally, if you did not play football, what sport would you play and why?
For some reason, I always thought about basketball. It was like I was like, cause like with my work ethic, I'm like, I feel like with basketball, I would like be able to train certain things so much easier. Like I would train my vertical like crazy, and I would just be dunking like on anybody.
Yeah, I feel like basketball is one of those sports where, like, if you just get really good at the small things, you can just be a great player.
A
There's
great
not as much
all around, right?
going into it, I guess. Not that, I mean, I love basketball.
Right.
Are you the type of person that you would prefer to watch basketball over football? Or
No,
no, football all
no,
the way?
football all the way.
Okay.
Watch football, play Madden, play NCAA.
So eat, sleep, football.
Eat, sleep, football. Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Next week in Demon Athletics, football will travel to New Orleans to take on the Pirates on Saturday at 11 a.m. They will then come home to play McNeese at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October 15th. Next Friday, October 17th, cross country will attend the Watson Cross Country Classic in Clinton, Mississippi. This is the last meet before the Southland Conference Championship, which will take place in Natchitoches on Halloween. Football will travel to Houston to play HCU on Saturday, October 11th at 6 p.m. Soccer will play East Texas A&M on Sunday, October 12th at Commerce, and will be back at their home turf to take on McNeese October 16th at 7 p.m. I may be a bit biased, but NSU soccer could really use your support as they fight for the conference title. Tune in next week for another episode of Inside Demon Athletics, where I ask an NSU athlete burning questions that regular college students are too afraid to ask student athletes. Thank you, and as always, Fork 'em Demons.